It's our Thursday morning movement session. Thanks for joining me. We are going to work today on some spiral movement. So this is going to be our challenge for April. We're looking at the spiral, how our body uses a spiral to move, to step forwards, to jump. So we'll have a little play around with that today in our movement session. So let's start off with warming up. Taking your feet shoulder width apart, a little bit of bend in the knees, and just get that rotation going through the spine. Tapping back and belly. Just knocking. And breathing easy in and out through the nose. And notice in this movement where you can feel like a spiral coming through the body. So if you think about your connection to the ground, so just really pay attention to how your feet are connected to the ground. And how, if you imagine you are pushing a little bit through the foot, so say if you focus on that right hand side, think of the sequence of events as you push from the ball of that right foot all the way up through the leg, through to the hip, and then that creates the rotation. That rotates you towards the left. I'm just catching a couple of you on Zoom. Just watch that you're not swaying side to side. So I really want you stable on the ground, and I want this rotation through the hips. So you're really using the hips and the feet. So we're not shifting weight side to side on this one. So just really feel that energy coming through the ground, from the ground, up through the leg, through to the hip, and then lengthening up the spine. So you're getting those spiral rotations through each of the vertebrae as well. And as I say there, you're just focusing maybe on the right side, but obviously it's happening the other way when you go to the other side. But it's quite nice just to pay attention to one side, bring awareness to that one side, and then just bring awareness to the opposite side. And all the time you're lifting and lengthening through the spine, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the upper back. And then we're going to take a nice full breath in. On the breath out, slow it down into water waves. And really, really slowly notice again as you're rotating, particularly that spiral through the shoulder, elbow, and then wrists, and even the fingers, even the joints in the fingers. It's called water waves because it's just imagining that you're just running your hands through water. You're just pushing the water around you, behind you. So really get that rotation, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers. Get that sequence as well. Shoulders rotate, elbow rotates, spirals. And then take a rest there. I'm thinking of the strength in the spiral as well, because if you were literally just doing this and just keeping the arms straight and moving around here, or pushing something away like this, would you just push away with a straight arm? No, you'd rotate it and push. So you'd get that. There's a much more power in a spiral movement. Think of swimming. There's a much more power in that spiral rather than just pushing. If you look at in sort of like mechanical stuff, corkscrew, car jack has got that spiral effect on it. So it's a lot easier to jack up a car just by twisting and using a spiral rather than lifting it up without that spiral motion. So just think of the power and the strength when you get that softness in the movement. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at that strength and softness and that flow of movement, but the power of that flow because you've got that spiral energy. Knees bent, let's go into spinal cord. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Opening up the rib cage and then tucking the pelvis, tucking the chin. Going at your own comfortable pace. Let's do 2 more. And then rest there. Just shake out a little bit if you need to. Dog wags the tail, so working on that lateral movement. So weight shift now side to side. And then hip leads, upper body again just follows. And the head is at the top. So again, it's that sequence. So as one hip shifts to the side, the other side of the rib cage drops towards the opposite hip. So you get that spiral, not the spiral, sorry, you get that ripple through the spine. And in fact, there is a little bit of a spiral because you're facing forward. So you will get that little bit of rotation, but we're not specifically doing a huge, big spiral movement here. But there's always going to be an element of that spiral in the moves that we make. And slow it down. Let's do another release one. It's really nice for the hips and the lower back, this one. So we'll do it in slow motion first. So you bring your hands up. It's called the pump. So we'll do it slowly. As you drop your arms down, you bend your knees and the hips glide back. And then as the arms go behind you, you straighten the legs, straighten the knees. And then you drop again, bend, and then you straighten. So I'll show you from the side. We go down, hips glide back. As your arms come up behind you, you straighten. That gets the hamstrings, which feels good. Then you bend, and then you straighten. So do a few more of those slow. Bend, straighten, bend, straighten, stand tall, bend, straighten, bend, straighten. One more slow, just focusing on the movement. Hips glide back, straighten, 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 straighten. And now you just let it go. So make it more of a swing. So you drop and then come back up. And drop, but get that straightened bit at the back. Drop. Hips glide back. Keep that back nice and long. You can use an exhale if you wanted. Let go. Couple of exhales just to cleanse and clear. Hips glide back. It's good for the legs. Gets the heart rate up a little bit. Couple more. And rest there. Nice. Shake out a little bit. Let's do our leg swing. So if I'm balancing, if I'm mirroring you and balancing on the right side, you're using this spiral of this leg, of the support leg, to swing the other leg. So use that center, use the support leg, and then really just get that opposite leg free, the swing leg free. So across, and I fall over. It's across and down, across. Great one for freeing up the hips. Anytime we feel there's tightness in the hips, it's working, that support leg is doing the work. Support leg, support side of the body. It's like corkscrewing into the ground and then driving the other leg, free, the other free leg. Couple more. And then shaking out the legs. Nice, should feel good. Let's do a little bit of shaking. So just get the legs going and then just tapping into the ground and then letting the belly go, the back go, the shoulders go. You can start to use the wrists as well, shaking. Really let the shoulders go, back of the head go. You can use a full breath in. Letting go of any tightness, tension. Really shaking the body up. And then slowing down, and just standing for a moment, just feeling the energy, the vibration. Tingling sensations. Nice. Pop your hands in your hips and sort of like that hip crease. Let's go back out to our shoulder width. Hip circles, so spiral the hips. So you're taking the hip to the side and then back and then other side, forwards. And just that softness in the knee, because the softness in the knee helps to create that spiral through the leg and into the hip. Should feel good on the hamstrings, maybe lower back, wherever you feel any excess tightness. Remembering that we're not forcing a stretch or anything, we're just easing out any tightness, any tension, unblocking any areas where we have tightness and tension. Let's go back the other way when you're ready. Hips should feel good after this. Couple more. And then come to rest. So let's now combine some spiral movements of the upper body with spiral movements of the lower body. So keeping your hand on your left hip. This is where I'm going to get really confused giving left and right. So I'll start off saying left and right, mirroring you, and then you just have to follow me, otherwise we'll all be all over the place. Hand on your left hip, right hand out, holding a teacup. So you're holding the teacup there. And then you take that left hip out. So it's like we're just going to do a lower body hip circle as we did there, but the arm follows. So as the hips glide back, the hand goes behind, so that my palm is facing behind. And then I come round. I'm still holding the teacup, I'm not going to drop it. It comes over my head. And then I come back to the start position. Yay, we did it. So go again slowly. Hip glides out and back and round, and make sure you don't drop it over your head, so it comes round over the head and then back to the top position. And you're really going to feel the spiral here through every single part of your body. So see if we can just get that into a nice, slow, flowing movement. So just keep going. Looking good on the Zoom there, everyone. So just visualize, imagine you're holding a tray or a cup and that you can't spill it, so you've got to keep that palm facing upwards, particularly as you come around here. Let's do a couple more in this direction. Overhead. Back to the start position and then take a rest. That looked good from what I could see on Zoom. See if we can do it the other way. So hand on the other hip, left hand out. So now we shift to the right, back, overhead, and then back to the start. And then we go again to the right, left, overhead, don't spill anything overhead, back to the start. Maybe notice any difference in that spiral. I feel it particularly in this side, because I'm mirroring you, this is my right arm, which you are at a computer and sitting and working with, and I can feel the difference in the shoulder, in the rib cage. Even in the hands and in the thumb. Let's do a couple more in this direction. Don't drop it there. And then back to the start. Good. Shake out the hands. Yeah, I really feel, I don't know if anybody else does, but I really feel a difference because I'm there on the right side. I really feel a difference, particularly when you are here coming through and round there. I can really feel a difference down that side here. So nice one to play around with, and then you're working with that whole spiral movement. Let's do some tiger. So fingers out. Nice and strong through the fingers, so that engages the back muscles. Just go to your comfortable depth. Remember, you're not tilting forwards. You're imagining that you've got a wall in front of you there. And then you come in standing back up. Get that spine wave, standing tall. And again. Pushing through the heels to come up to standing. Breathing easy. Couple more. And then come up to standing. All looks good. You should all be pretty used to that now. Nice rhythm, nice and smooth. We're doing it slowly so that we can take our time, so that we're in control of the movement all the way through it. We're in control of the breath all the way through it. And that you can really tune in and make any really subtle adjustments that your body may need to make as you're doing that movement. We're not surviving a movement. Now let's do the step forwards. So again, I'll mirror you. We'll step forwards on the right. So if we're stepping forwards on the right, we support ourselves on that left side first. So stabilize on the left side. Step forwards onto the right. Shift the weight a little bit to the right, but we're then coming down the front. So that left heel just comes off the ground. So there's a little bit more weight through that right side. And then push through the heel and come up to standing. And then step back. Stabilize on the right side, nice and strong on that right side, so you can free that left leg to step forwards, shift the weight forwards, and then come down, facing forwards, and then push through the heels, come up to standing. And just do a few of those side to side in your own time. Step. And step. Let's do one more each side. and then take a rest. Shake out the legs if you need to. We'll do that again, and I just want you to really pay subtle attention to when you're in this position here, when you are taking the hip back, how what is happening is a very small spiral, a spiral movement to actually spiral through the leg to keep the leg in the right place. So if this leg was just like a hinge joint, you wouldn't be able to move down into that position. So that hip rotates, the knee rotates, and the ankle rotates to keep everything straight. If you're stiff in the hip or the knee and the ankle, that's when things start to pull in and pull out. So what we might be thinking is, oh, my leg pulls in because my knee isn't strong enough, or something like that. But what is most probably is the thing is that it's most probably tight, and you haven't got the strength in that spiral. So it's a bit like that corkscrew. As you're going down, there's a spiral. And then as you're coming up from there, use that point in Tai Chi, Qigong, the bubbling spring. That's almost like the tip of the corkscrew. You need the heel into the floor, of course, so I'm not asking you to go onto the ball of the foot on that front foot, but use that corkscrew effect to bring you back up. So everything comes up straight. I'm not getting any wobbles in and out, but it's actually a spiral. It's like car jack, it's like a corkscrew that's bringing you back up. So just have that in mind. Shaking the legs out. Take it easy. Let's step to the right. Take it nice and slow. Go to your own comfortable depth. And then just have in mind that spiral bringing you back up as you stand back up. And then step back. Other side. Go down slowly. And then imagine that spiral bringing you back up. Go to the other side, step. Come back up. And step. Come back up. Nice. Shake out. So of course, every time we take a step, when we're walking, when we are running, we're getting that very subtle absorption of the ground. The force is absorbed as we step, and then we're using that spiral to move straight forwards. So just when you're walking, when you're out running today, just have that in mind. Okay, let's finish off with some nice, just centering, pulling down the heavens. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bringing the hands together, resting on the lower abdomen, bringing the feet together. And then closing your eyes, letting your body rock and sway. And perhaps it might even spiral. When you're ready, taking a fuller breath in through the nose, and on the top of that breath, opening your eyes, stepping out, giving yourself a brush down arms, back, legs, belly. Excellent, and we will finish our movement practice there. Take that away, have a little think about that. Don't overthink it. So we don't want to overcomplicate things. So we don't want you to be trying to spiral. This is a great one to have a little play with. So have a little play with that one. And in the AIM Challengers Facebook group, we can post examples of spirals in there. It can be, Kevin's posted some fantastic stuff and some fantastic information in there already. So it's just sharing ideas, sharing movement practices, and any sort of like pictures that you see of a spiral in nature, in industry. Please do get involved if you want to do that. I know a lot of you are in the Facebook group, the AIM Challengers Facebook group. If not, you can join that group as well. So thank you very much for your time, for your attention, for your practice. It all looked good from what I could see on Zoom. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday for the breath work. Have a great time. Take care.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.